What's up, Marvel United family? Welcome to the channel. Servant Zero here, aka Mr. Perry, and today we'll be showcasing and reviewing Ebony Maw from the Infinity Gauntlet expansion. Let's go. Alright, guys, let's check out Ebony Maw and all his cards here. As you guys can see, he has no special setup. Ebony Maw is going to have a health of 10 when fighting 4 heroes, a health of 7 when fighting 3 heroes, a health of 4 when fighting 2 heroes, and his special rules: heroes with any crisis token must play their hero cards randomly on their turn. Then they discard the crisis token. His BAM: deal 1 damage and give 1 crisis token to each hero in Ebony Maw's location. His overflow: if 1 or more civilian or thug token can't be added to a location, each hero in that location gets 1 crisis token. And again, as you can see, Ebony Maw has no villainous plot. So, let's check out his cards. He has his standard 18 being a villain. He's going to have a 5, and he's going to put out some thugs and civilians. Ebony Maw does have a trigger effect, so we'll go over it later, guys. A 4 in a BAM and puts out some thugs. A 3 in a BAM and puts out some thugs. A 2 in a BAM and puts out civilians. 2 in a BAM and puts out thugs. 1 in a BAM and puts out civilians. 1 in a BAM and puts out thugs. 0 in a BAM and puts out civilians. And Ebony Maw has 4 special effect cards. His first set: Genius Intellect. Immediately play a number of additional master plan cards equal to the total number of crisis tokens the heroes have. And he has 2 of these. All right. His next set: Manipulation. Move clockwise to the next location with the most heroes. Each hero in Ebony Maw's location takes 1 crisis token. And he has 2 of these, guys. All right, let's check out his threats. Telekinesis. Remember, guys, as you see, he has his trigger effect. If you guys are not familiar with the trigger effect and how it works, the trigger effect is what you see here on his master plan deck cards. It indicates that if he lands in that location, in this location where a trigger effect card is, it would activate that trigger effect. It has nothing to do with the BAM whatsoever. As long as he's landing in this trigger, this threat location with the trigger effect, he will constantly, continuously do that until you guys remove it completely off the board. All right, Telekinesis. Deal 1 damage to each hero in this and adjacent location. It's going to take 3 heroic actions to get rid of, and he has 2 of them. His second group: Persuasion. Each hero in this location takes 1 crisis token. If there are no heroes here, play another master plan card after resolving the current one. Again, it's a trigger effect, and it's going to take 3 heroic actions to get rid of this one, and he has 2 of them. right, and his last one, his last set here, debilitating torture. Heroes starting their turn in this location do not get actions from their previous hero cards in the storyline. And it's going to take 3 heroic actions to get rid of these. And he has 2 of them, guys. All right, that being Ebony Maw. Let's see how they work. All right, guys, let's talk about Ebony Maw's cards here. Again, he has no special setups. He is going to have a health of 10 when fighting 4 heroes, a health of 7 when fighting 3 heroes, and a health of 4 when fighting 2 heroes. His special rules: heroes with any crisis tokens must play their hero cards randomly on their turn. Then they discard 1 crisis token. His BAM: deal 1 damage and give 1 crisis token to each hero in Ebony Maw's location. Of course, we know what that's like, guys. If you're in the location and he BAMs, you will receive a damage, and with Ebony Maw, he will give you a crisis token. And again, your crisis tokens can build up, and the only way you get rid of them is by playing your hand randomly. And let me show you, if you're not familiar with what that means. That means you have your hands, you would turn it like so, and you would just shuffle them like so. And whatever you get, you get. All right? That's what that means when he says shuffle them randomly. That's what we mean, okay? And once you do that, you'll be able to get rid of the crisis token, okay? So, that being his BAM, let's check out the overflow. If 1 or more civilian or thug token can't be added to a location, each hero in that location gets a crisis token. So again, Ebony Maw is passing out crisis tokens like candy. Reminds me of another villain that does that, huh? All right, let's take a look at his threats. He has telekinesis here, and telekinesis is his trigger effect. And what that means, if you guys aren't familiar with the trigger effect, this little bullseye here, it just means if he lands in that location, that's what that means. So not only he landed in this location, he's gonna put out 2 thugs and a civilian, and then his adjacent locations, he'll put out a thug and 2 civilians and a thug and 2 civilians. So he will put out a thug and 2 civilians here. He would put out a thug and 2 civilians here. And here he would put out 2 thugs and a civilian. And as you guys can look at it live as I'm talking about it now, it's going to cause a overflow. But because he landed in this location with his trigger effect, now he will deal 1 damage to each hero in this location and adjacent locations. So not only with me pulling just this 1 here, he dealt damage to a hero if he was in this location. He is going to deal damage to a hero in this location. And the old Hulk here will receive a damage because they are in adjacent locations. And with that being said, him doing the overflow there, he would give heroes that's in that location a crisis token. So if you were a hero and you was in this location and it overflowed like such, not only would you receive the damage, you would receive a crisis token. All right? That's his telekinesis, and he has 2 of them. His next threat card is Persuasion. And it's another trigger effect. Again, all he has to do is just land there, and it'll activate. Each hero in this location take 1 crisis token. If there are no heroes here, play another master plan card after resolving the current one. And that will take 3 heroic actions to get rid of this one. And as well, he has 2. All right, so basically, again, if he lands here, a hero is there, so you'll get a crisis token. If there were no heroes in the location, then he would just play another, master plan card. And if you had just played one, he would immediately play it again. So you don't wait. You don't wait till the heroes take their turn. Pay attention to the wording of the card and what it's saying. So if it was his turn and he had went and he landed here in this trigger effect, he would immediately be able to play another one. So you're looking at a possible combo effect for a while. I went over it before in another video where sometimes when you put your cards out, even though you put them out randomly, these trigger effects can affect, it can cause a combo effect. So 1, 2, 3, right? So you pull a 3 card. Let's say he was right here and he went his turn, right? And he pulled a 1 and a bam. So you pull that 1 and a bam and you move. Not only would you do your bam, you do, your trigger effects, you do put out your thugs and everything like you do regularly. But because you landed in the spot, I'm sorry guys, I'm hitting my camera. Because you landed in a spot that has a trigger effect, now you instantly, after pulling this card, you instantly get to go again. And let's say you pull a 3, right? 1, 2, 3. And now again, because of you landing and on your trigger effect, and it's the same card, you would instantly again pull another card. So this is how these trigger effects, and this is how the threats that's on the board can sometime, 1, 2, can be devastating to you before you know it. So you have to be careful because sometimes, we random and, we just put them out there, but sometimes the cards line up like that and you can find yourself, the villain just running away from you. You're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? What's going on? So again, guys, work hard to get your threats all off the board. Make sure you get them off the board so you want nothing to be caught up like that and it falls into that circle like that where you keep going. It's like, oh my gosh. So his next one is going to be debilitating torture. Heroes starting their turn in this location do not get action from the previous hero card in the storyline. It's going to take 3 heroic actions to get rid of this one, guys. And he has 2 of them, all right? So all that means is, let's say Hulk is in that location. He's getting ready to start his turn. He would pull his card. And he has this one. And, he's looking to use his teammate's card, but because he is starting in debilitating torture, the threat is on the board, because he's starting there, he will not be able to use Grey Hulks. So it will cancel out Grey Hulks, and all he'd be able to use is just his 1. So again, that being debilitating torture, the threat, make sure you watch them, guys, when you're out there, all right? So let's check out his special effect cards. You would move clockwise to the next location with the most heroes. Let's just set that up like this, and we'll set it like this and this, all right? So he would move to where the most heroes are, right there. Each hero in Ebony Maw's location take a crisis token, and he would give you your crisis token, right? Bam. Bam. He give me a crisis token. That would be his manipulation. And he has 2 of those, okay? Now, let's check out his last 2 special effect cards here. They're both the same. Genius Intellect. Immediately play the number of additional master plan cards equal to the total number of crisis tokens the heroes have. So, if you guys had been collecting these crisis tokens throughout the game, all right, and you've been getting rid of them, because, hey, you don't want to keep them, you want to get rid of them. But you had kind of like, well, they don't do nothing but really just make me have to, randomly play my cards. I don't mind shuffling my little cards and, putting them on there, If you're not careful and he end up pulling this card right here, he could win the game and knock you guys out. Let me explain. So now he would count them up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means he would put down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his cards, and he has won the game, guys. There is no more cards in his deck. He has sneakily got you, right? So be careful with your crisis tokens, even though they don't do much but make you randomly put down your card. You don't want to hold them, guys. You want to go ahead and try to get rid of those guys. And again, the way you get rid of them is by shuffling your cards randomly and then, hey, discard this sucker. Get rid of it, okay? So don't let them collect on you too bad. Don't let them collect up, because if he pull that genius intellect, yeah, he got you. That being Ebony Maw from the Infinity Gauntlet expansion, the last expansion in season 1. Pretty cool villain. I would give him the, he's not so threatening, Him and old Corvus, they're not too threatening. They don't really make you feel like, oh my gosh, like I need to pull my hair out. Nah. But they're fun to play, especially if you guys are going to be playing the campaign, the Infinity Gauntlet campaign. Yeah, it's really fun. It's fun. So again, that being Ebony Maw, that's how he works. Those are his threats. Those are his special effect cards and the things that he can do to win if you guys aren't careful. So, you like what I'm doing? Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe. You guys share. Be safe out there. Stay blessed. And I will catch you guys in the next one.